Okay, this is a short video of the very first rifle that I ever purchased, which is the Remington model 522 Viper. And as I said, this was the first rifle that I've ever purchased, and I purchased this back in April of 1994. Now the Viper, and I have the documentation here, the Viper was the replacement for the Remington Nylon 66 rifle, and it had some issues. It had about a 5-year production run from 1993 to 1998. I'm not sure how many units were actually made, but you really don't come across it very often when you look in gun shops or go to gun shops. I'm sure they're out there if you're interested in these particular rifles. I would say that there's nothing really extraordinary about them. You know, it is a polymer rifle. It has a one-piece stock and forend. To understand that the actual receiver itself is polymer as well, and of course you have a steel barrel here. So this was, I guess, perhaps in the early days of polymers being used for making rifles. This is my first black rifle too. I think the particular type of polymer is rhinite, which is something that's used very often in beverage containers and the like. This has a 10-round detachable magazine, as you can see there. It's a box style, a banana style magazine. Let me get a little closer. It's a banana style magazine. It holds 10 rounds, and the rifle can hold one in the chamber, so it's capable of holding 11 rounds at a time. This is the steel magazine version. As you can see, the magazine release here. Get a little closer look at that. And some of the later ones, see, it's actually very easy to load. You just depress that and put your bullets, your cartridges in there. This is one of the steel magazines, and my understanding is that some of the later magazines were actually made out of plastic or polymer, whatever you want to call it, and they did not do quite as well as the metal magazines, so that probably contributed some to the reputation or bad reputation that these rifles kind of got. But I personally have never had any issues with this rifle. It doesn't have a lot of rounds through it, but I would say that any shooting session that I had with this was not unpleasant. I didn't have a lot of failures to feed or failures to extract or stovepipes or anything of the sort. And it is, I will call it accurate as the shooter happens to be. So I didn't have any problems with accuracy as well. Now if you take a closer look at it, you'll notice that it is unloaded. It has a dovetail forend, and it's totally sculptured in that dovetail type configuration from the forend all the way back to just beneath the receiver. Let me swing this back around here. Alright. Oops. Okay, it will not lock back by itself. In order to lock it back, you do have to have the magazine in place. There's nothing in the magazine, so it will lock back. And it also has an indicator here. You can see the little tip. That lets you know that it is cocked. So let's see if we can get this guy to fire. I don't dry fire this very often, but okay, you don't want to fire for me, do you? My gun is a little gun shy. Let me see here. Let's see if we can. Oh, that's the reason. Let's get that forward. Alright, now let's do that. I forgot about that. Alright, let's see if we can get that in the frame. And there it goes. And if you cock it, you see it come forward again. But in any case, I just wanted to showcase this real quick. As I said, this is my first rifle that I ever purchased. Take a look at that. Looks like a black ship going by. Black spaceship. And it has the integral Weaver styled scope mount on the top. It's very light. This only weighs about 4.5 pounds. Shoulders very nicely. Oops. Shoulders very nicely. And as I said, it is a pleasure to shoot. It's a shame it had a bad reputation, but I guess that comes from them actually replacing the plastic or the metal magazines with plastic or polymer. So they pretty much didn't give this as good an opportunity to succeed as they probably could have. And this was replaced by the Remington 597. And there really aren't a lot of aftermarket parts for this. Magazines. I only have this one magazine. It only came with the one magazine. Magazines were relatively expensive. So after I experimented with this for a while, that kind of encouraged me to get the Ruger 1022 a short time later. So while this did well, performed well, it, like I said, certain things about it, just the replacement magazines, too expensive, difficult to find, and no aftermarket parts for it. So in any case, I hope you like this video. I hear my neighbor's dog out there. He must see or smell other dogs going by or something like that. But in any case, I'm going to cut this video now, and let me know what you think about the Remington Viper 522. And oh yeah, another thing, in order to actually put on any kind of shoulder strap or carrying strap or anything like that, you actually had to install one yourself. There are no mounts for that. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye bye.